Plan, prepare, perform. That's the motto of D-Day. Angelo DePaola, the Coastal Connection with eXp Realty. I'm here with Bryant Knight with D-Day. Bryant, before we get into, first off, guys, as you can see, it's coming into Labor Day weekend. We're gonna have a bunch of people on the water. We're gonna have a bunch of guys offshore. And I can tell you, a few years ago, somebody was fishing with Mike Rao. Dude had a heart attack on the boat from reeling in a big tuna, and God called him to heaven that day.
Yeah.
So that doesn't have to be the story. If we're prepared, we have a plan, and we can perform that plan.
Exactly.
And I just think that this is so timely right now. There's more people buying boats than ever.
Yep.
And just when you're new to something, you're gonna have more accidents. And these things just happen whether you're expecting it or not.
We're seeing more and more of it.
So tell us what D-Day is.
D-DEY Response Group. We are a company 7 years old. We're based out of Stuart, Florida. We started, we're an all military veteran company. We started from our roots of being Army Green Berets and Navy Corpsmen, and came together and built a kit around a sport that we love, which is, fishing. And it started with one customer, and 7 years later, we have over 600 customers, sport boat fishers, yachts. That's kind of our customer base right now.
Now, is that your only customers, or
No,
do you?
we will sell pretty much a medical kit to anybody and everybody. We provide for law enforcement, a lot of the Marine police that you see out on the water. They have our kits. Like I said, so all the boats that you see out here, those are we have a lot of those customers, and we scale to the boat. So the 20-foot center console, the 120-foot sport yacht. I mean, we'll build and customize pretty much anything.
Now, what's your story? How did you get to here and be part of D-Day?
So the owner, Don Deo and Cecilia Deo, Don and I were in Afghanistan together, and we had been deployed to Iraq together as Green Berets. I had retired out of the Army, and I'm originally from Mobile.
All right.
And, born and raised along the Gulf Coast, grew up fishing, just was ready to get back home here, and, couldn't have been more perfect timing. So coming out of the Army, coming out of Colorado, which is where my wife and I were living at the time, he just happened to be driving through Mobile on his way to support a customer in Texas, and gave me a call and said, I need help and I need you here on the Gulf Coast. And so we have expanded D-Day Response Group from pretty much Fort Lauderdale south all the way down to Miami, and now we're up along the Gulf Coast.
So look, we have the kits,
Yep.
and you guys also do training.
Yep.
Let's go into the kits, and then we'll talk about the training. So what do we have here?
So this is our 1550 medical kit, and we like to say this boat is for the 55-foot plus size boat. We do have a much larger kit, and that we get into the 70-footers at that time. But so I'll open it up, and we arranged this medical kit kind of the way we practiced medicine when we were out deployed. We know that a lot of times people that are helping their friends that are having trouble, that are have an injury, that they're not knowledgeable, and they're just sort of there's a lot of stress going on, and we want to make it as easy to read and understand when they open this kit up.
Dude, I will tell you, initially, just right off the bat, I've been on a lot of boats. I know what the medical kit on my boat looks like. It looks like a couple of boxes with some Band-Aids, some Neosporin, and some Advil. I can handle minor scratches and some headaches. But what do we have here?
Yeah, so we organize this kit where it's really easy. So somebody cuts themselves, you're just going to grab the bleed bag, and it's going to say bleed here. And then inside it, you have, bandages, you have ACE wraps, you have the things that you need to control bleeding. Our second is our Airway Bag. And in this kit, we also have an oxygen bottle, and we have an ambu bag in this kit too. So, you know, if someone stops breathing and you start, you know, chest compressions, you immediately have the tools to help sustain life. And the goal is for these kits is to keep someone alive, keep someone safe, and they're trauma treated until they get to a higher level of medical care. And prefer, like, whether it's a Coast Guard coming in to evacuate via boat or helicopter, or you're turning the boat around and you're heading back towards the shoreline. We continue on, so we have additional bandages, you know, for cuts and scratches and whatnot, and even some deeper lacerations. We also have, and this is kind of the nightmare for anybody out in the ocean, a burn kit. So boat catches fire, if someone gets burned, you're able to treat this too. And then recently, I've had a customer here, no more than just a few days ago, that was their deckhand fell off the boat onto the deck, and they broke their wrist, and they were able to splint using the splint kit.
All right, so I can tell you, I opened this kit up. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
So you kind of have a educational side. Not kind of. You have an educational side.
We have what's called ELSM, which is Emergency Lifesaver Marine. I'm actually providing this course on the 10th of September here in Orange Beach.
Awesome.
So you can come to my website, you can sign up, reach out to me, and we'll able to get you registered for that course. But we train around the kids. So we like to say that, you know, you're better prepared when you know what's going on in your medical kit. These kits are designed, I mean, this is a Pelican case and it's bright orange. So in the middle of the night, you know, you're gonna, you know to grab the big orange case if something is going on out in the ocean.
All right, look, this is what I know. Like, we can tell you that you have all the stuff you need to deal with an injury out at sea or wherever you may be. But like, none of this ever hits home. A friend of mine went into cardiac arrest, and he's a goner, you know, today because of that. And like, it made me want to go get an EKG and check my heart. Like, but you've sold these here recently, and people have deployed them, and it's made a difference. Share a story or two.
So a couple of you know, things that really stand out to me. So we had a kit that I sold here recently, and you know, maybe people around here heard the story or not, but it's a story that we all hear, that some swimmers were out in the water and a boat ran over one of the swimmers, and the prop got a hold of that swimmer and lacerated the leg all the way down from the hip to the ankle. That is terrible trauma for that person. Luckily for that person, there was a boat nearby that happened to have our kit. They actually saw the accident. They responded, pulled the person onto the boat, and they were able to, you know, deploy their tourniquet and start bandaging, and then they immediately called for help. But they were able to save that person's life that day. And what we're trying to do with D-Day is we're trying to make the industry safer. So everybody loves to get out on their boats. Everybody loves to get out on the weekends, and they're having a great time. All we want to do is to be able to provide, you know, a safer mechanism just in case if something happens.
And so these things, you said you scale these for boats. I mean, this is like a 55-foot plus boat, but you have stuff for center consoles. Heck, you have stuff with EKGs. And I mean, like, I just think, cardiovascularly speaking, we have a lot of guys that go out in the middle of August and September. It's 90 degrees out. You get in a fighting chair. You're physically
that big marlin out there for hours.
For hours in the heat.
Yep, and a lot of people get dehydrated. A lot of people are exhausted. People do go into cardiac arrest, and you have to be able to work with that. And we see more of that probably than we do anything else. So we do carry AEDs with our kits. Like I said, this is our O2 bottle that goes with this kit. And this oxygen bottle will actually last for 45 minutes. So you have 45 minutes
getting oxygen to the brain, so you don't go brain dead.
You deploy the AED. The AED is super simple. You hit the button, it will tell you to open the tray, pull the pads out. It's really hard to mess that thing up. That's where I'll go with that.
You know what? Relative to the amount of money that we spend on our boats to go out and fish, to keep our friends safe, to keep our family safe, to not have to make a phone call to somebody's wife,
Yep.
to somebody's son,
Yep.
explaining
What happened? Yep.
and the inability, like, these aren't cheap.
The better story
But they're
is
inexpensive
I was
relative.
able to save your loved one out in the ocean.
Yeah.
And the better story is, like, so I tell people, like, this kit right here is $28.75. And I hope that this is the best $28.75 you never ever have to use, but you got it.
Yep.
And for a lot of the fishermen out there, you know, I mean, people pay a lot of money to enjoy getting out there and doing what they love.
And look, you're 100 or more miles offshore.
Yeah.
You're
The
pretty,
gasoline alone.
yeah, but I mean, like, you're not, help ain't right around the corner.
Yeah.
You need to be prepared
Yeah, you need
for
to
when
be
bad things happen.
Absolutely.
And so you have this, and you were telling me you have like we're not far from hunting season.
Hunt
People
season's
are
right
out
around
planning.
the corner, and we do have what we have. We've come out with the Wilderness Edition, and so this is our small wilderness kit. This is a great kit just to keep in the back of your car. It's also a kit so the deer hunters out there, the people that are going out for elk hunting, they're planning on hiking for miles and miles. Just to have this kit in your backpack is something that's
What's in there?
So right now we are able to, and I'll open this up for you.
I mean, this is the same stuff that you guys were using in the military.
This is literally the same. Because it's one thing about the military is they absolutely love
Velcro, it looks like.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, so we have a Cat 2 tourniquet, and so I will say that the Cat 2 tourniquet has probably saved more lives than anything I have in this kit next to the AED.
Wow. I mean, that's amazing. Some fabric.
Aren't easy to use. You can use it if you even injure yourself, which we train you on. We will actually teach you to deploy that on yourself to stop bleeding, because you never know. Some days you're out hunting by yourself. Some days you're out fishing by yourself.
You are.
You need to actually use this equipment.
You're out with your kids. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Somebody that's with you,
Yeah.
like me, freaks out at the sight of blood. I mean, I'm a baby.
We try to make these things where they're very organized and it's easy to use.
All right.
So trauma shears, bandages. We have a heating blanket for shock treatment. Yeah, so that's about it in this kit.
I mean, but it's minor things that can save your life, and you don't know whether you're going to need them. Look, I don't know. I just feel passionate about this. This is something you could have at your house, essentially. I mean, I just think,
our focus is marine industry and the offshore industry, but we sell these kits to everybody. What we have noticed a lot since we've started in the 7 years we've been in business is there'll be someone that has a boat and we put a kit on their boat. And then the next thing you know, it's like, you know what, I want one for my house and I want my family trained and what you guys are doing. And so we'll go to their house with our trainers and, they'll have a ranch or a farm, a hunting camp, and we'll put a medical kit on there. And so there's so many opportunities for people to buy our kits, to have the training, and be prepared for
I mean, you have everything. You have flashlights. What's this?
So this is actually a blood pressure monitor. So instead of the big thing, this will actually deploy this on your wrist.
Okay.
Right here, and it'll take your blood pressure. Someone is is in cardiac arrest. You're going to deploy the blood pressure. If someone passes out.
Okay, I get it.
There's so many. If somebody goes down for anything, this is one of the first basic tools that you're going to use.
To understand what, you're calling for
Understand
help.
sort of the vitals.
So
if you sit there and go, I just took their blood pressure and this is their blood pressure.
All right, I get it. I get it.
This instrument here is a glucometer. So those who have sugar issues, diabetics, we're able to test your blood sugar. We also have, let's see if I got it back here. Yeah, I think I do.
Oh man.
Yeah,
so a whole other level.
Yeah, so we have Transcend, which is some glucose in case people go down.
I mean, dude, people die. A friend of mine's dad went into a diabetic shock and died from that.
Yeah.
So, oh man.
More and more. So I like to call this the lickies and chewies side because it's just the aspirins, the Band-Aids, some Neosporin, just for scratches and small cuts. This right here, you can't see it on the camera, but we have our oral hydration salts. And so you mix this up with 1 liter of water, and it's the equivalent of a fluid IV bag. It tastes salty, so if you deployed it, and you need to let that person drink the whole thing. Doesn't taste very good, but it's going to
save your life.
Yeah.
All right, look, I feel like that you guys have everything, whether you're in a freaking 17-foot stouter up in the Delta, or you're in a 70-foot or a big mothership. You can outfit them. You can train the captains. You can train the crews. You can train the people that may actually be using this if they're running the boat themselves, their family. How do people get in touch with you? How do people get in touch with D-Day? Like, what's the easiest way?
Well, you can go to our website, D-DEY.com, and that's D-DEY.com, and order your kits there. You can reach out to me because I'm the Gulf Coast, rep here, and I cover, like I said, from Tallahassee all the way to Houston. So I'm all over the place. I like to say that this area here is my home, and sort of our headquarters, if you will.
Yeah.
So I'm easy to get in touch with here. 251-533-9147. Reach out to me directly. You can also go to Bryant at D-Day.
And can they just go to Google and just just Google D-Day? It's going to send you to your website. You can go find you guys on Facebook. Look, that's the easy way. I don't remember a lot of stuff, but I know if I know D-Day, D-DEY, find it on Google. Look, if you're going to be going offshore, if you're going to be going into the wilderness and you're going to be away from quick medical response, you need something like this, something like this. Don't let something that's preventable be the last story that's ever told about you or your best friend or your family member. Thank you. I hope this helps you. And I love to talk about real estate, but I don't even want to bring it up. This is what we're here for. Y'all stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.